welcome back. We're back in Timberborn again in our Cavernwood colony. And as you can see, currently we have the fog turned off. It looks a little brighter. We're finishing up on that pole, and it looks like most people prefer it without fog. And it was a little jarring for me at first, but you know what? I'm kind of getting used to it and kind of liking it myself. So we'll see where the pole goes, but for now, we're gonna leave it off. And speaking of where we left off, we have made these platforms, but I noticed while editing the last episode, they're slightly off. So I need to make sure that, yeah, this is the one that's correct. So I gotta move these over one. Let's take these out. Those go away. Oops, and that goes away. There we go. How did I get 4 stranded beavers? Ugh, these beavers are dumb. We'll put one here so we can keep the beavers and things start to get built. We're also going to have to take out 4 more of these. We're going to have to replant some trees. One there, and one there. That one's good, but this one needs moved over. So let's go ahead and we'll just remove that. And they don't need to build that one, so we'll take these away. There we go. Awesome. Looks good. We'll let them work for a little bit longer on this. They've got... You know what? Let's get those guys out of there. Just in case. So, we'll get those taken care of. Next, over here, they've got all of this taken care of, except for this one tree right here for some reason. Let's go ahead and have them just remove this one tree. And we're also going to have them remove these berries. We don't quite need as many anymore, and we're keeping quite a few over here, which means I can probably take this gatherer flag out. There we go. That looks nice. And in its place, we're going to put in a couple of extra farms. We'll put one here. And then I want to build just a little bit over the lake here. And nope, I don't want the 2. I want the 1. There we go. 1 platform, grab a farm. There we go. And here, are you guys out of stuff to do? Oh, yes, you are. We'll take you out of there. We'll take you out of there. No more lumberjack here either. There we go. And we'll say, let's plant the one thing we haven't planted so far. Corn. There we go. Corn of all sorts. Well, of one sort. Of whatever sort the beavers happen to like, I guess. We're doing corn all in here. Corn here. Is there... Okay, they can reach all of that. So we'll do corn. There we go. We'll put corn over here for now, too. Don't know how permanent that is going to be, but that's okay. We can always move crops around. So we'll let them get to work there. Over here, I'm going to take this dynamite out. But I think I'm only going to go to about here on the actual dynamite side. So let's go ahead. We'll toss in dynamite up here. There we go, to get that down. And that's a 2. So we'll do 2 here. And then across here, that actually needs to go down 2 as well. Would you look at that? We need to get... No, we don't need to get in there. We don't need to do anything with anything past this line right here. In fact, I don't think I want to take these out because that might end up being a retaining wall. So we'll just put them in here, level that out, come over here. Let's see how these are doing. That's not bad. Let's go ahead and we'll get a couple more in there. There's the 2s. Yeah, that looks good for now. How am I going to get up there? Well, the general answer is almost always ladders. Let's do ladders out of here. And, oops, that was one too many ladders down. Tell you what, we'll just let them build and go from there. Let's grab a ladder here. We'll see if we can get them up into the hills here. Let's go this way. They can destroy all that. There we go. Get rid of those, get rid of those. All that can go, all this can go. Let's do maybe about a ladder here and here. Hopefully they can get to most of that stuff after that. Already putting in the dynamite there, so that's not bad. Oh, let's get one more piece here. And then we don't need that or that, so they can get rid of all of those. That's looking good. This is good. We're leaving this on for the moment, just so that we can get science, and bad water is not really affecting us too much down there, so we'll just kind of let it go. I did pick up another mod, the useful water wheels mod. I think that's what it's called, something along those lines, where it adds extra, basically, power connections into the side of the water wheel, which is pretty nice. We'll probably need that a little later on. Maybe not this episode, maybe the next, but it might be this episode. Something else we've got here. I want to try and level all this out. So let's go ahead, get in some dynamite over here. Since we're using a whole bunch of dynamite today anyway, we'll just put all of that dynamite in. There we go. That can all go. This is going to have to be twos. Here's a couple more ones and a 2. There we go. Let's get ladders in here. And you know what? We'll just do stairs up to that. That's fine. Stairs. Probably done stairs there, but that's fine. It will be just fine. We'll let them work on a little bit of that, and we'll also have them put in dynamite. Let's dynamite down at least this part. That is 3 high, right? So that's 5, that's 8, that is 3 high. So we'll get them started on this. Let's go back over here and see if they've moved everything. They got one moved, so let's do that. And then we'll make sure that we take out these trees around it, because it's going to need a tree on each side's room. There we go. There we go. They can work on all of those. How are they doing on this? They've got ever more of those working their way through. It looks like the beavers... You know what? I'm going to leave this here just in case some crazy beaver gets stuck again. We can definitely work our way into getting this covered without losing too many beavers. Back over here in the dynamite fields, it looks like they've done pretty well. They just need this one last dynamite. So let's, while we clear the rest of this stuff out, we'll see if they'll come over and put in this last dynamite. They may not. Who knows? We'll just hope that they do for now. This is all got to go. Let's take this road out. There we go. Bad tide incoming, but I'm not too worried about it. These 3 are done. There we go. Well, those are 2s, so that's all right. We'll move this around here. There we go. I still have 20 extra beavers, and I think it would be nice if we just got some more builders. We already have a ton of builders that are seemingly constantly at work. In fact, we have a couple of extra bots too while we're at it. So we did fill those up. Where do I want to put the bots? We've got all of those taken care of. Any more dangerous places over here? No, not really. Those are bots. These are bots. Oh, that's not a bot. Let's put bots in here, just so we can keep up with what we have. There we go. That'll work well. They're starting to fill up. Yeah, look at that storage starting to fill up. Shouldn't need trees at any point. But, oh, what's this over here? Oh, they're still working on that, aren't they? Yeah, there is somebody to cut them down. So, did I have those marked? No, I didn't. I had everything except those marked. There we go. Now they can come over here and get that. Speaking of marked, I don't need to cut any of that anymore. Definitely not any of this. There we go. Pretty much said goodbye to our beginning tree farm. That's good. But let's get in those extra building huts and let's just find a place for them. You know what? I'm going to... Let's build a branch over here. There we go. And we will do... Here's our district management. Builders huts. There we go. One there. One there. One there. Let's take out you here. Take out these. There we go. And we could do tubeways to each specific one, but you know what? I'm just going to do this because these aren't going to stay forever anyway. Let's make sure all of this gets done so that we can start using those. And I can probably use a whole bunch of these. You know what? Let's reorganize that real quick. Let's do the builder's hut. We'll do one here. And then we'll do one across from it. And here, we'll see if we can line these up. We'll do even more. Yeah, that looks good. 3, 4, and maybe 5 right there. When they get to taking care of all of that, let's say those are a bit more important so they can get all those in as well. And we'll finish off with just a bit of a path here. There we go. There we go. Around the side. There we go. That ought to give us some high-speed building. Speaking of which, here's some dynamite we can take out. There we go. Kind of small explosions, but still fun. There we go. Let's get rid of all of that, and we'll say that you need to go out of there at a fairly high speed. That's looking good. They can build that when they can. They're probably low on blocks because they're putting them all over here on this, but hopefully we can redirect some of our stuff. In fact, let's say that you two are both higher, you're higher, you're higher, so that those get done. Looks like our dynamite over here is done. Let's take all that out. Here we go. Let's take you two out the top. And now we can just start laying down 3-wide dynamite. We need 3-wide dynamite. Get down to this level. There we go. How are you guys doing over here? All right, not great. They've taken out some of this stuff, but it's probably low on the priority list. They always have demolishing low on the priority list unless you specifically move it up. And I'm not sure why that is. There's probably some in-game reason for it, but I have not figured that out yet. They've got all of this. It looks like they're almost done with our dynamite field. Oh, it's too far. Okay, well, there you go. Have a road right through the center. Let's take these out. There we go. That's looking good. They'll get those taken care of, and then we can actually start to lay down even more of these 3 dynamite. There's the 3s. Here's more 3s. And hopefully our production keeps up with all of this. We're already behind on metal blocks, but hopefully those will recover eventually. Right now, they should have plenty of dynamite. They've got 1,000 dynamite and 850 extract, which that's not too bad. We can definitely at least work with that. For here, they've got started on all those. In fact, they got this done. While they're working on that, I want to go ahead and put in around the back here. And we have the corn from earlier. So I figure we'll put a food factory over here, connected into maybe a couple more of these. We should have the trees to cover it. So we'll do that. Like I said, though, all of this stuff is probably not guaranteed to stay. But why miss out on the well-being and the extra food if you don't have to? Let's do... I don't want to take these down, actually. There we go. Got those by accident. Let's replant those. There we go. Looking nice. All right. That'll be good. Look at all those trees we have, plus all of this. That's going to be plenty of timber. And we're going to say that's more important. let's get that cleared out and this cleared out so we can get started on our corn rations. Got these last dynamite in over here, which is nice. We still have to work on taking out this section, which we can definitely do as soon as they get this cleared up. We did get our extra builders huts in now. So we're down to 9 free beavers, but we should have a massive legion of beavers building things. In fact, they've got this done too, so let's go ahead, get that out of there. And then they'll have, looks like, one more left to do. So once again, we're going to clear this out. There we go. We'll get dynamite all in here. And we'll put paths in so they can get to all of it. Let's just put it there. That should give them the reach on both sides of the path. Let's connect in this path. I did notice that they're going to need paths connected in to get some of this stuff. So there we go. We'll hand them that. That's all looking pretty nice. Did the Forgotten Cave actually work? It looks like it is. Let's see underneath and see if it's going to be a problem when it opens back up. I hope this solved it. I hope it's just good water in here. Maybe. That might be an issue. I'm not sure if it'll ever... Well, we'll find out if that ever washes out and opens up. But we should be okay with that for now. Looks like they're doing okay all around here. They've got a whole lot of dynamite set up there, so... Can't say that I blame them for that. Oh, they did get the tree out of the way. I was looking at the wrong tree. There we go. Let's grab a food factory. We'll set you down there. Connect you in, and then... Tell you what, we'll take one out. We'll put the regular guy back in the gears, and we'll set this one up for bots so that we're sure to get plenty of that. Let's get a storage in here for the basic ingredients. We'll just do 2 side by side. Normally I'd stack them, but again, I think this area will probably be leaving at some point. So let's do corn coming in, and we'll do corn rations going out. And you know what? Let's get this done so that our beavers can have just that much more wellness and maybe work even that much faster. They've got most of this ready for a giant explosion, so I'm going to take this out just so they can't get over here. I'm going to take that out. We'll put a tiny tubeway station on here to finish it. You guys get out of here. There's no reason to be running for those resources. Go on. 2. All right, let's get rid of that. Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. All moved, all leveled, all good. Okay. So, we are going to... Well, first of all, we're going to put this up here so that we can get rid of that. And then I'm actually going to put one here. And we'll say get rid of these trees. There we go. They can build all of those. In fact, we need them to put out just a couple more. It was 3, wasn't it? Yep. A couple more of those. They can get all of that taken care of. And then what we can do while we're waiting to get more stuff in, say this entire area dynamited or this platform worked on. In fact, looks like we've got the second platform. That's great. They are taking a ton of materials, though. What do we have on this one? Only 103. Our little smelters are trying their hardest. Are they... Scrap metal is keeping up, but... Is there a way that I could make even more? I bet there is. I could build on top, or I could just do something like... Do I even need this path through here? Not particularly. Let's go ladders down the side here. There's our legion of builders. They are getting stuff done quickly, that's for sure. we'll have them build that, and then I can take out... You have any trees left to cut? Oh, you have those over there. Okay, we don't need you in there anymore. And now let's take out this. So this all goes. Yep. This all goes. Yep. And then we'll have to connect you in there. And now we can do this. Well, I could do that, but I could do it correctly and put more of these in as well. There we go. We need... Not going to fit face to face like that. That's a little close for him, it looks like. Let's put you... Let's do just one here, and then I think that's the last one I can get to. We'll do power. Let's do this. Power here. Road here. There we go. Road here. And we might go ahead and put in a little bit of storage here. Nope, that's going to be not big enough. So we'll get in a whole bunch of small storage. There we go. Small storage here. Get scrap metal and actual metal flowing out of that once they've got that built. But that should give us... What? These are less dangerous than the other ones. So we'll switch them over. We've got a couple of extra beavers there. And we'll put these all as bots. There we go. Bots, bots. Sorry, Chud Haggis, you got to go find something else. There we go. And we'll set those whenever they're done setting them up. Got all these 1 dynamites in, which is great. Let's take those out of there. All right, we've got this side evened out. Let's take that out of there. And we set up some dynamite here just a minute ago, and as you can see, they're already flying through that. So let's take out all of this. And do I just need ones here now? Yep, but I'm going to have to find a way over to there. So, well, I could probably drop dynamite down. Let's do a 3 up there. That should take care of that. This can go. This can go. And can I get to those anyway? Not really. All of these are taken care of. We'll take there. And there we go. Let's take those out. And they can just put dynamite from the bottom on that. Let's move the path just a bit closer and they'll be able to handle most of that. Over here, they've still got to put that in. Oh, there's another one here. I need 2. There we go. 2. We're starting to run a little low on supplies. The Legion of Builders is really tearing through that pretty quick, but I think we'll be okay. There we go. Let's grab back just a little bit of this. There we go. That looks good. Now, while we're over here, what I think I would like to do is set up a little more amusement. Maybe some nice places to hang around in here. So let's see. We'll start with a swimming pool. The swimming pool is what, 3 by 4? Yep. Let's see if we can blow up a place for a swimming pool. And we'll do 1 pool here. And maybe we'll do 1 pool over here. There we go. Let's do... We'll go ahead and purchase it, though. Yep. Let's purchase that while they work on those. And we'll get some past each of these. Where are they coming? Oh, they're coming out from over here. It has 2 entrances to this area. Wonderful. All right, let's blow that up. And then we'll put in a pool. Well-being, there we go. And there we go. And now let's put in a shower for the pool, a shower for the pool, and then we'll even put in a dump for the water. Because there might be beavers that want to jump in a pool that has completely dried up, but most beavers probably aren't going to want to. You never know. You know, I'm not here to judge. Do what you like. But it's probably not a great idea on their part. So let's put up a little bit here. We'll get, you know what? Let's go this way. And we'll take this out of here. That looks good. Let's get some well-being stuff in there. Maybe some decoration. We'll do shrubs. We get our light poles, of course. And how about maybe the clock to tell you what time it is when you're out there. And you know what? Let's just do a bench. They can just sit on a bench next to it. There we go. We'll go ahead and get that in down here. Let's go ahead and get the other pool in while they're working on that. There we go. Looking good there. And then the same thing, we'll get the showers in. There you go. There we go. There we go. Let's do this. And that. Sure. Looks nice. We'll do decorations here for that. Let's do, maybe for some night swimming, we'll do the brazier. Let's do a watchful beaver bust here so he can just keep an eye on what's going on in the pool. Take those out though. Decoration, we will put in, let's put in another lamp. We'll put it in on the corner here. And of course the shrub. You gotta have a shrub just for looks. There we go. So now we've started a bit of a nice area here. Even green. Look at that. So let's take a look, see what else we can do for well-being. We've got our exercise plaza, which might not be bad between the two pools here. Let's do, tell you what, we'll move you down here. And we'll get some bushes in front of this. There we go. We'll connect you in around the side. Connect you right there. That'll give us something to work with. Then we're going to need, it looks like a wind tunnel and a motivatarium and a mud bath. Mud bath, maybe we can put in, that requires some power. It's going to be interesting for sure. Let's go ahead and we'll put in a couple of engines over here. And we'll just kind of hide them at some point. There we go. That should give us plenty of power. We'll put in just a nice stairway here. We'll connect them in. There we go. We'll connect these in over here. And let's do well-being. We'll get a wind tunnel. You know what? Let's put the wind tunnel out here kind of in the middle of the field. And we'll even dynamite just a bit of land so we can come over to this and connect it in underground. In fact, I might need, yeah, I'm going to do 2s instead of 1s so that we can build it down just a little bit lower. Let's do 2s and there and there. Yeah, that'll do. On the other side, let's get our motivatarium. I can't remember where this connects in. I want to say it's the back, so we'll just face it this way. They'll just see beavers occasionally from the seats just flying up over the stage. It might be a nice place to watch. Then again, it might not be. So that's okay, though. They're paying to be in the wind tunnel. They don't need to see the show. There we go. That should do just fine. Let's get some detailers here. In fact, we could probably do 3 here, just in case after the shower they want a nice detailing. And we'll do 3 more here, which might be a little hard on our extract, so we might need an extra factory or 2, but we'll keep an eye on all of that. And then finally, the mud baths. Let's see if we can maybe sneak them in. Let's get 2 of them in. And I'm going to need probably some dynamite to go this way. And then we need 2 sets of 4 here to get those in there. There we go. That's going to look real nice. Let's go ahead. put in this here. All right, we'll let them work on that for just a while, and we'll come back and check in on that. Over here, our dynamite's in, so we can go ahead and start taking some more out of this. There we go. That goes out of there, that goes out of there, that's out of there, and then they've got the front line of this done. There we go. In fact, we can probably start digging down here. So, let's see. Yep, we can afford 3s if we got the extract for it. There we go. We're just going to put these in. And hopefully, at some point, we'll have extract or we'll be able to clean that up. But I want to drop all of this down first before we work on too much else. They can come in here and get this. Actually, we can put... No, let's not put one there in case we accidentally blow something up. Let's get a 1 dynamite here to clear all this out. There we go. That's looking good. Oh, no good selected. Oh, it's all these. So we'll just set those to all of the different things that we need. Here's the scrap metal, more scrap metal, and these should all be coming in. So they make sure to get this over here. There we go. This goes, oops, this goes to that and coming in. But we don't really need to prioritize it. So there's all of these. There's all of these coming in, and more scrap metal coming in. Last part here is just for the actual blocks. If they decide to fill them back up, we can work on that. I'm sure eventually it will hopefully start to catch up with itself when we're not spending massive amounts. Oh, those actually need to go out. Let's do that. We're not spending every block building something right as soon as we make it. But how's the power doing over here? Not great. We could probably use another place or two. You know what? We might. Okay, well, let's have you travel over this way instead. And we'll take this out. And we'll get an extra 1, 2 there. And that's going to be a lot of industry to move. But we will eventually move it. So we'll get there just as soon as we can. How's the corn going? Corn rations, corn. We have plenty of corn now. So our food has gone back up. It's like they've managed to get most of this in. I don't want them crossing the dynamite when I'm trying to blow it up. Let's do it now while there's nobody there. There we go. Wonderful. Let's do the mud baths here. 1 and 2. We'll figure out our power situation. Power... oh, yes, the power button. That would be helpful. There we go, wouldn't it? All right. Let's do the upward power shaft. There we go. We're going to have 1 there. Ooh, we might not be able to do both ways. That's all right. We will figure that out when we get there. We'll figure that out in just a minute. We'll connect in all of the regular ones. That can go there. This can go here. And then we want vertical, downward, and same thing. Actually, no, I just want the downward shaft here. There we go. And we'll do vertical. Ooh, I might have to recalibrate this just slightly. Go 1 past this, and then, yeah, that's what we're going to do. In fact, I'm going to do the opposite and go... We need them to come up 1 here, 1 short, and we'll come up here. We'll do a downward power shaft out this way. Let's fill this hole back in. Maybe. There we go. That's all filled in, and then we have this T right here. There we go. We'll get that in there. Let's go ahead and fill in these. So that can all be filled in. this can be filled in. Let's take road here, and we'll do some dirt in here. These can all be filled in. There we go. That looks good. That's going to get us connected. We will maybe hide what we can of this stuff. For example, I'm going to do this, and then we're just going to put, let's just put a light pole on top of it. That sounds good. There we go. They just got to finish building that. And then the last of the stuff that I think I'm going to put over here, we're going to temporarily put in, I want a farmhouse here and a forester here. And we'll randomly put in some crops, maybe put in some blueberries around the park, just over here and around everywhere. So they're kind of mixed in with everything. There we go. That looks good. We'll put in, let's see, don't need the coffee quite yet. We're gonna do, let's do some canola maybe here and there. There we go. Oops, did not want quite that much canola. You don't need the whole fields of canola there. There we go. That looks good. They've got that, and then we'll do some random trees. There's a really nice mod that can kind of do this for you, but I don't have it at the moment. So if you're looking to build these kind of random forests, definitely look into it. Let's see. Do all of these. Just fill these in. More pine trees, pine trees, pine trees. Get a couple of birch here and there. Just so it looks nice, looks like a nice forested area that they can come and enjoy and relax. Oh, we've got these up. Let's go ahead and set all of our nice, I don't know what you call these, decals on here. There we go. That's a good one. And this one here. We'll just leave it at those. So there's all the emotes from the channel set up as decals. So we'll let them plant in what they can, I guess. And then we'll come back. We'll remove these if we need to eventually. But they look like they're much happier now all of a sudden. So, are we not... Is this not connected? Building... Are we... Everything else is connected. Did I somehow miss these? Do they only get connected in the back? Oh, no. Let's take you out of there. I think they can build through dirt. This would be a great test for that. Let's find out. It is too far from a district. Cannot be built. Okay. That's okay. We can reset this. And that is... Where was that? I should have probably checked that before I came back above ground. There it was. It is 37,124. And build... Grab some dynamite. And there we go. 37,124. Let's... Sure. We'll put that in there. Beaver's happiness is going up. Should be good to go there. We'll check on our dynamite fields one more time. Wow, they got most of that dynamite field in, except for probably what they couldn't reach. Let's go ahead and take that out of there. We'll reset those. Do I need that ladder set anymore? It doesn't really look like it, does it? Nope. Those can go out. This can come out. We'll finish these off. They're going to finish that. Our canopy, they have one solid brick left, which is awesome. Our dirt has recovered, so let's go ahead, fill in the next tile with dirt. And it looks like they have started on this. In fact, they're about 40% of the way through. That's not too bad. Hopefully we recover. Our poor extract is getting hit a little hard, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. Let's see. We got to have them come out of there. I don't think I actually needed to do that. There we go. they'll get that built. Come on, guys, you can do it. Let's build that. We'll make sure that that's getting logs. You're getting logs. There we go. That's what we wanted to see. Put this back in here. And there we go. That looks good, like a good, nice resting place for now. They've got 2 entrances to the park. They probably don't need that anymore. And we'll let everything grow up just a little bit around here. Is there any other kind of food I could probably plant and be okay with? Let's do a kohlrabi or 2 around here. Those look kind of green and earthy. There we go. That looks good. And we'll put an eggplant there for the fun of it. So we'll let them build that, and we'll come back here in just a second as soon as they've got that all planted. Got even more dynamite in here. I don't know if you can get tired of dynamite explosions. I don't think I can. So we've got all of these in here. This all goes down. And then we're going to have to go down even farther. This is too high. So let's grab ladders for this end and ladders for this end. We'll connect them in real quick. There we go. All done. And there we go. There we go. We'll get those in here eventually. It's too far. Okay, well, not a problem. You can go that way. You can go that way. That should be far enough for all of those to be taken care of. Over here, they've got most of their stuff taken care of. Oh, there's nobody in here. Okay, well, let's get somebody in here real quick just to make sure that they get those planted. But I think that'll grow up and be a nice little amusement area for them. And if they need more amusements, we can always provide later. But I think that's going to be it for today. Next time, we're going to take a look around. We might have to actually expand out the height of our reservoir here soon. Hopefully, we can maybe start to get some of this area built up. Oh, there's one more dynamite before we go. And we will take a look and see what we can put on this top level too. But until then, just want to say thank you very much for stopping by, and hope to see you next time. Bye!